I'm receiving quarantine warnings about the slums where Dr. Morden Solus runs the clinic. Anticipate resistance at the transport station. I have also run searches for reports on Archangel. The various mercenary groups appear to believe that he is dead.
Works for me. Got something to report?
I'll just be going.
Keep moving.
Come on, let me in. Ari's expecting me. Ugh, annoyed.
Don't look at me like that.
Aria has work for you. Aria has a job she needs doing. You up for some work?
That depends on what Arya has in mind.
Aria's gotten word that some blood-packed mercs plan to kill an old acquaintance of hers, a Krogan named Patriarch. She'd like you to keep that from happening.
What's the Blood Pack's problem with Patriarch?
If you've met Patriarch, you know. He can't keep his damn mouth shut. Some people don't appreciate his stories, especially when he dips into non-fiction.
What's Arya's interest in protecting him?
Patriarch was one of her deadliest enemies back in the old days. Now she keeps what's left of him around as a trophy. As long as he lives, he's a perfect example of what happens when you go up against Arya.
Why come to me? Arya's usual muscle not up for the job?
Because Arya said so. What other reason do you need?
People like Arya don't do things without a damn good reason. I want to hear it.
Fine, but I didn't tell you this. Got me? If it gets out that Arya's protecting Patriarch, well, that can look like a weakness. And some people might want to exploit that. You're not on her payroll, so you helping Patriarch just seems like a random act of kindness.
I'll look into it.
Good. Patriarch's downstairs, likely surrounded by his fans. Get him into hiding until the mercs move on. Come back here when it's done, and you'll get your due.
I'll be back when the job is done.
Good luck.
Welcome to Afterlife. How may I serve you?
I'm good for now.
Of course. Thank you for stopping by and for not shooting anyone in public.
You again. Greetings.
Rumor has it some people want you dead. Know anything about that?
Well, I could think of a few. I know things. Old secrets, old grudges. A few floors you can dig up to find bodies underneath. Someone who wanted to weaken Arya might come after me. They do it to get to her, you see. Not for me. I don't matter enough anymore to have enemies of my own.
Some people want you dead. I've been asked to move you to safety.
Well, of course. Arya wouldn't want me hurt. It would make her look bad. perhaps Arya's reputation is no longer my concern. Perhaps I will stay. See who thinks me important enough to kill.
Here's an idea. Let me handle the assassins for you.
And so your name grows, while I remain an old man who lets others fight his battle.
No. You remain a powerful warlord with forces at his command. Not just Arya's trophy.
Well, you could be my Krant, fighting for my honor. If you would do this for me, I would be grateful. I might even be a Krogan again. Out of our way, human.
You here for Patriarch?
What if we are? You gonna do something about it?
Patriarch sent us. Sent to do whatever it takes.
You're with Patriarch's Krant? I wasn't aware the old man had one.
You should have done your homework.
Killed them all. And everyone knows that the Patriarch is not to be crossed. Thanks to you, Arya may think of me as more than a trophy. A real advisor, maybe. Or even a threat.
Take care, Patriarch.
For the first time, I like that name. By the way, be careful with Arya. She will approve of what you've done, I think. But not of you altering the balance of Omega. I think it reminds her too much of herself.
Arya wants to speak with you. She heard you took on the Blood Pack assassins yourself. I wouldn't keep her waiting.
You want to talk? Talk to Arya.
Word has it that Patriarch's Krant took out the men sent here to kill him. Funny, I didn't know he had a Krant.
Patriarch has more influence than you thought.
I see. Well, maybe I should watch my back then. It's not what I asked, but you got the job done. Do you need something else?
Sounds like you and Patriarch have a history.
Our history is Omega's history. Long, bloody, and always ending in my favor. The details are complicated. When I arrived, Omega was lawless, a land of opportunity. I built alliances and destroyed the fools who wouldn't get in line, which was most of them. But Patriarch was something different. A powerful friend.
I'm surprised you were ever anything but rivals.
We were allies for 100 years. I suppose he decided that was long enough. Wasn't a surprise when he turned. He controlled the muscle, my people contributed more subtle action. Espionage, politics, assassination. Unfortunately for me, his men had become accustomed to certain benefits of working with Asari.
Superior intel? Assassination?
That's cute. No, I took advantage of certain skills my people try to downplay. Patriarch's men abandoned him in droves. In the end, we fought face to face on this very spot. The toughest fight of my life. But of course I won.
Patriarch doesn't sound like something an Asari would come up with.
I found it humorous. He wanted power, and we pretended he had it with a word that doesn't exist for my people. I eventually found a certain respect for the title and the man.
So you kept him around as a trophy?
I did. A trophy and an example. Whenever someone thought about taking me on, I pointed them to Patriarch. Dignity is one of the few commodities not available on Omega.
Interesting, but let's move on.
Do you need something else?
This data pad was on one of the mercs that was after Archangel. They were coming for you next.
Let me see. Interesting. Would someone like to tell me how this information slipped the net?
I'll look into it.
You've done a lot for me, Shepard. Let me return the favor. We're sending your coordinates to a cache on an uncharted world. You want it? It's yours.
We can use any help we can get.
Whatever you find is yours to deal with.
Thanks. Maybe I'll come back later.
Why don't you find a nice girl to keep you warm in the meantime? You look like you need to loosen up a little.
Let me in.
Explorers ships have reported seeing vessels of an unknown make, but whose silhouette
complaining is pointless, human. There's a plague. Nobody gets in or out.
You can't keep me out. I live in there.
I'm doing you a favor, lady. If you go in, the guards will cut you down.
You can't do this. Everything I own is in that apartment.
I told you to get lost, lady. The plague has the whole zone quarantined. Nobody gets in.
I'm human, you ass. Humans can't get the plague. Now let me get my stuff out before looters get it.
This thing affects every other race out there. We're not taking chances. Nobody gets in until the plague has run its course.
So you're saying the slums are completely sealed off?
Finally, a human that can hear. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
You can't keep me out. I'm gonna lose all my stuff.
I'm doing you a favor, human. Anybody in the quarantine zone will be dead from the plague or the gangs in a few weeks.
I didn't think Omega had any kind of law enforcement. Who gave the order to quarantine the slums?
Fresh off the transport, huh? Arya Taloke calls the shots around here. She's got her little blue hands on every business in this district. And a plague is bad for business. She hired us to keep anyone from entering or leaving the quarantine zone.
There's a Solarian named Morden Solus in the slums. I've got to get in there to find him.
The doctor? Yeah, crazy bastard opened a clinic in the district a few months ago. The Blue Suns weren't too happy when he moved in. I hear Morden's trying to deal with the plague. I wish him luck, but the area is still locked down. Our orders are to wait until either the plague or the Blue Suns kill everyone. Then go in and clean up.
Any idea where I can find Morden's clinic?
Not a clue. What do you care? The place is quarantined, remember?
Tell me more about this plague.
It starts out as a cough, then you start coughing blood. And, well, then I shoot you. It affects multiple species. Turians, Solarians, Krogan, you name it. Only humans are immune. And Vorcha, if you count them. An airborne disease that takes down multiple races. Can't let that spread. Hence the quarantine.
Who are the Blue Suns?
Mercenary gang that runs the district. At least they used to. The guys are mostly Turian. I heard the plague hit them pretty hard. Now the whole district is up for grabs. I hear the Vorcha are making a move. Plague can't hurt them. Immune to disease. Just one more reason you don't want to go in there.
I didn't think diseases would cross species barriers. Turians and Solarians can't even eat the same food.
Right. Most people figure that it has to be synthetic. Somebody engineered it. And it either got loose, or they're testing it here. And seeing as how humans are immune to the plague and doing a fair bit of looting, a lot of people think humans made it.
Listen, you're stuck here until this quarantine is over. That could take weeks. What you really need is to get this problem solved right now. That's what I do. Solve problems. Let me in and I'll get this district straightened out.
You think you can fix this? Why not? Quarantine is more to keep infected people in anyway. I'll radio ahead, tell them you're coming in.
Wait, you're stopping me, but not them? You son of a bitch.
You don't have a grenade launcher, lady. Get lost.
A quarantine zone for a plague that kills Turians. Why don't we ever go anywhere nice?
It's safer to stick with a squad who's immune to the plague.
It's your call, Shepard. If you need me, I'm not going to let a cough keep me back.
Good work.
Don't shoot, they're cleared to come in. Good luck in there. The Blue Suns and Vorcha shooting anything that moves.
We've been spotted.
I'm on it!
Come on over! Guess they just left the dead in the streets.
Burning corpses. Must be trying to keep the plague from spreading.
Looks like he tried to claw his way out. No one wants to die trapped like an animal.
Bastards see us in this room. Said we're infected. Idiots can't tell the difference between the plague and a simple cough. Nothing to do now but sit tight and wait for them to wise up. Good thing we brought a deck of cards. Nobody's even come by to check on us. Never thought the Blue Suns would turn their backs on me. This group used to stand for something. When I get out of here, I'm gonna make them pay. Data isn't doing too good. I think he really does have the plague. Gotta get out of here before he infects me too. Davis died last night. He's still talking to me, though. Good to hear his voice. The company is nice. Nobody should die alone.
Field is clear!
Human. Should have guessed. Bad enough you infect us with this plague. Now you lack the decency to even wait until I die before you come to steal my possessions.
Is there anything I can do for you?
Get away from me, human. Your kind has done too much already. Your plague did this to me. Your faint pity is the final insult.
Humans didn't create this plague.
Lies drip from your mouth like the blood from my sores. The proof is there for all to see. Your species is the only one that does not succumb to the virus. Yours and the wretched Vorcha.
I need to find Morton Solus.
Humans looking for the human sympathizer. I hope the Vorcha burn Morton and his clinic to the ground. I hope you... I hope... Damn it. Damn you.
Hey, stay with me. This won't cure the plague, but it might help a bit.
You helped me. Why?
It's what I do. I don't know if I can find a cure for this plague, but I'm gonna try.
Your words sound sincere. Maybe it's the fever. But as you said, what have I to lose? What do you wish to know?
Why are you so convinced humans are behind this outbreak?
The plague is too potent to be a naturally occurring virus. Airborne transmission across numerous species, near perfect mortality rate. It had to be created in a lab. And since humans are the only species not affected, there is only one logical conclusion.
Aren't the Vorcha immune to the plague? What if they spread the virus so they could take over the district?
Vorcha are immune to disease. A human-created plague wouldn't affect them. But if the Vorcha created the plague, why wouldn't it affect humans? Besides, the Vorcha aren't smart enough to make a virus like this. They're scavengers. Sorry, human. You may not want to believe it, but all the evidence points to your species.
I need to find Morton Solus.
He has a clinic on the far side of the district. He's taking in refugees, offering to help those infected with the plague. I was afraid to go to him before. He is dangerous, but perhaps he can help.
What makes Morton worse than dying from the plague?
The Blue Suns tried to press him for protection money. He killed them, stunned them with some kind of toxin, then gunned them down. He's not just a doctor. Doctors don't execute people and display the bodies as a warning.
You were talking about Vorcha earlier?
Before the quarantine, the Blue Suns controlled this district. But as their numbers fell to the plague, Vorcha moved in. The Blue Suns are fighting to protect their territory. But as the plague spreads, it's only a matter of time until the Vorcha overwhelm them.
I need to find Morton Solus.
He has a clinic on the far side of the district. He's taking in refugees, offering to help those infected with the plague. I was afraid to go to him before. He is dangerous, but perhaps he can help.
When I find Morton, I'll tell him about you. If he has a cure, I'll make sure someone gets it to you.
Thank you. My time is running short, but at least you have given me a flicker of hope to brighten the darkness of my final hours. I don't want to die. Whatever Morton is, I will risk it if he can reach me.
I should go.
Goodbye, human.
Going to cover!
Grabbing cover!
Get over here!
Good shot! On target! Get over here! Right!
You bet! Free and clear.
Ever since this plague started, the Blue Suns have been out to get us. They're killing as many people as the disease.
Why are the Blue Suns hunting you?
We didn't do anything. Pretty much every non-human in the district wants us dead.
They think we caused the plague. Humans aren't getting sick, and that's all the evidence they need. God knows how many of us they've already killed.
They should be looking at the Vorcha, not us. Ever since the plague hit, they've been taking over Blue Sun's territory.
You said the Vorcha moved in just after the plague hit?
Right after the district was quarantined. Vorcha are immune to diseases, so they're not getting sick.
Not sure where they came from. Never saw many Vorcha around before. Sure seemed like they were ready for this.
Only nobody thinks the Vorcha are smart enough to create a virus like this. The Blue Suns need someone else to blame. Like us.
You said the Vorcha were taking over Blue Sun's territory?
Trying to. The Blue Suns don't go down easy. The plague softened them up, but they still have enough firepower to hold some of their turf. The Turians are getting pushed back. The deeper you go into the district, the more Vorcha you'll see. Unless they see you first.
What else can you tell me about the plague? When did it start?
The first cases cropped up about 2 weeks ago. Nobody paid much attention until it started to spread. Usually takes about a week to kill you, but it spreads fast. 3 days after the first outbreak, there were over 50 known cases.
That's when everyone noticed humans weren't getting sick. Then the quarantine came down and everything went to hell.
Any idea how the victims contracted it?
Not sure. Probably airborne. Even after the Blue Suns started sealing victims up inside their own apartments, the plague kept spreading. Now they just gun victims down and burn the bodies in the streets. Doesn't seem to be helping, though. People are dying by the dozens.
Tell me more about the Blue Suns.
They're a mercenary gang, mostly Turian. Used to run this district. Kept things nice and stable for the most part.
As long as you paid your monthly protection fees, everything was cool. Rates were pretty reasonable. For Omega, at least.
Then this damn plague hit. Everyone started dying. The Vorcha started moving in. The Blue Suns lost control and the whole district turned into a war zone.
I need to find Morton Solus.
Oh yeah, him. He's got a clinic on the other side of the district.
Heard he's taking in refugees now, trying to help plague victims, offering protection from the Suns and the Vorcha.
Sure. A doctor with military-grade mechs helping people for free. On Omega, grow up.
Sounds like you don't think much of the doctor in his clinic.
The Vorcha tried to muscle in. He gunned them down, just like that. Pop, pop, pop. Didn't even use his mechs.
Then the Blue Suns heard he was sheltering humans and they went to burn down the clinic. He killed them too. Then he went inside and got back to work. He's cold. Must be Solarian Special Forces or something.
You can't stay trapped in this apartment. If you get to Morton's, you might at least survive until the quarantine ends.
Are you nuts? We'd never make it. The streets are crawling with Blue Suns and Vorcha. We don't even have pistols.
Besides, I'm not risking my life on a rumor that some Solarian might offer me sanctuary.
I know you're scared, but your only hope is to get to Morton's clinic. I'm going to be under fire from the Blue Suns and the Vorcha, so I can't take you with me. But I promise you this. I'll do what I can to leave a safe path for you to follow me. It's risky, but I think it's your only chance.
Okay, you're right. We'll never make it if we stay here. We have to try. We'll wait here for a while and give you time to clear the way. Then we'll head for Morton's clinic, if we're lucky. Maybe we'll meet you there.
Make sure you clear a good path for us. I don't want to get shot on the way to Morton's clinic.
We'll wait here until you've cleared the path. When the fighting dies down, we'll head to Morton's clinic.
This looks interesting.
Engaging hostiles!
Taking cover.
Going to cover. Here you go.
Coming. Target down. I've got him. On target. Going to ground. On it.
With you.
Now let's finish you off. Friendly fire. Taking cover.
Sure thing. Coming our way.
It's
Seems we've crossed into Vulture territory.
The Blue Suns have given up a lot of turf. That doesn't bode well for them.
Back off. We got here first.
Field is clear!
Hey, what did I say? We found this stuff. It's ours.
Ah, forget it. Nothing but junk in here. This place is worse than the last one.
What are you doing in this apartment? Did you kill that Turian?
What, the guy on the floor? Nah, the plague took care of him. We're just here to take a full accounting of all his worldly possessions.
Stealing from the dead. That's pretty low.
What's the big deal? It's not like they're gonna miss anything. We're just showing a little entrepreneurial spirit. The plague doesn't affect humans, so we might as well cash in.
Besides, if we don't take this stuff, the Vorcha or Blue Suns will. Better us than them, right?
No more looting.
Oh, what? You gonna shoot us?
This plague won't last forever. When the Blue Suns come back, they won't like you looting in their territory.
Yeah, well, maybe they won't find out. It's not like there's any witnesses alive to tell them.
Are some dead Tyrians' trinkets and a handful of credits worth that risk?
We just wanted to make a bit of quick cash. But when you put it like that, doesn't sound like such a good idea. Hardly found anything valuable anyway. Yeah, you're probably right. It's not worth it.
Do you know a Solarian named Morton Solus?
Yeah, I know him. Got a clinic right around the corner. Take plenty of ammo if you go that way. It's crawling with Blue Suns and Vorcha.
What else can you tell me about the plague?
I don't know. Started about a week ago, I think. Aliens started dying off left and right, and they quarantined the district.
Figured we had to look out for ourselves. Started scoping out some apartments, taking what we could carry.
Seemed like a good idea at the time. Guess we didn't really think it through.
What do you know about the Vorcha?
The Blue Suns used to keep them down. But with all the Suns getting sick, the Vorcha are making a push to take over the district. I don't know who's gonna come out on top. We just want to stay the hell out of the way.
Tell me everything you know about Morton Solus.
That guy is crazy. He'll patch up a gunshot wound for free, then kick your ass and throw you out when you try to grab a few painkillers.
Be honest, man. You kinda had that coming.
No way he's just a doctor. No doctor puts down a Blue Sun squad like that.
All I know is if you go to his clinic, don't cause any trouble.
The Blue Suns control this district, right?
Well, they used to, before the plague wiped half of them out. Seems like it won't be long until the Vorcha finish them off. Yeah, I'm kinda sorry to see him go. Blue Suns ran a tight ship, kept the district in line for the most part.
We need to get going.
Yeah, sure. We'll just stay here for a while, get some rest.
Don't worry, you made your point. We ain't gonna steal nothing.
Something you need?
I've got a few questions for you.
Sure, fire away.
We need to get going.
Yeah, sure. We'll just stay here for a while, get some rest.
Don't worry, you made your point. We ain't gonna steal nothing.
Hostiles are cleared!
No funny business once you're in the clinic, unless you want to deal with those mechs.
Rearming.
Morton's around here somewhere. Go talk to him. We need all the help we can get.
Sorry, too busy to stop and chat. You should go find Morton.
Morton saved my life. I owe him everything.
On our way here, we saw humans looting the apartments of the dead. It made me sick.
This clinic is a sanctuary. If you're looking for trouble, go somewhere else.
Professor, we're running low on Suboxone.
Use melanorin. Plenty on hand. Almost as good. Causes cramping in vegetarians. Supplement with butemerol.
Melanorin and butemerol. Got it.
Senesine is the catalyst. Bonds to genetic markers. Hard to find. Expensive to mass produce. Why not Heplicor? Too unstable. Inconsistent results. Demazine better option. No, no, no. Demazine toxic to humans. Not an option. Not an option.
This is valuable. Professor Morton Solus?
Don't recognize you from area. Too well armed to be refugees. No mercenary uniform. Quarantine still in effect. Here for something else? Vorcha? Crew to clean them out? Unlikely. Vorcha a symptom, not a cause. The plague. Investigating possible use as bioweapon. No, no, no. Too many guns. Not enough data, equipment. Soldiers, not scientists. Yes, yes. Hired guns. Maybe. Looking for some.
Relax, Morton. I'm Commander Shepard, and I came here to find you. I'm on a critical mission, and I need your help.
Mission? What mission? No, 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 no. Too busy. Clinic understaffed. Plague spreading too fast. Who sent you?
It's a covert and privately funded human group.
Related to plague. Doesn't affect humans. Human-centric interest. Few human groups would know me. Equipment suggests military origin. Not Alliance standard. Spectres. Not human. Terra firma too unstable. Only one option. Cerberus sent you. Unexpected.
You're very well informed. How did a Solarian scientist hear about Cerberus?
Crossed paths on occasion. Thought they only worked with humans. Why request Solarian aid?
The Collectors are kidnapping entire human populations. We're gonna find out why and stop them.
Collectors? Interesting. Plague hitting these slums is engineered. Collectors one of few groups with technology to design it. Our goals may be similar. But must stop plague first. Already have a cure. Need to distribute it at Environmental Control Center. Vorcha guarding it. Need to kill them.
I'll get in and deal with the Vorcha.
What the hell was that?
Vorcha have shut down environmental systems. Trying to kill everyone. Need to get power back on before district suffocates. Here, take plague cure. Also, bonus in good faith, weapon from dead Blue Sun's mercs. May come in handy against Vorcha. One more thing. Daniel, one of my assistants, went into Vorcha territory looking for victims. Hasn't come back.
If I see him, I'll do what I can to help.
Thank you. Told him not to go. But he's smart. Bright future. I hope.
I found a Batarian plague victim near the entrance to the neighborhood. Can you send someone to help him?
Risky. Blue Sun's Vorcha still battling. District not secure. See what I can do.
What can you tell me about this plague?
Advanced design. Suspected collectors before you mentioned them. Purpose seems experimental. Destroys respiratory systems with harmful genetic mutations. Makes sense to avoid humans. Unnecessary to force mutation on human genetic structure for sake of variants.
Unnecessary mutations? What are you talking about?
Possible goal of virus. Testing viable mutation levels in various species. Horrific, but feasible for collectors. Humans known to have diverse genetic background, wider range than other sapient races. Makes sense as control group.
What do you know about the Vorcha?
Cowardly, opportunistic scavengers. Not tactical or aggressive. Scale of attack unusual for them. Suspect Vorcha working for collectors. Distributing plague, collecting data. No proof, but theory fits evidence.
Any idea where I can find Daniel?
No. Heard infected Batarians trapped behind Vorcha lines. Daniel went to help. Warned him not to go. Too dangerous. Patients here need him. Snuck out anyway. Wanted to find him myself. Can't leave the clinic. Have to look after the patients.
Have you had any trouble at the clinic?
Nothing major. Blue Suns came for humans, made threats, killed them before things escalated.
For a doctor, you're awfully calm about taking out a group of mercs.
Wasn't always a doctor. Some work with Solarian Special Tasks Group. Can handle myself. Advantage of being Solarian. Turians, Krogan, Vorcha, all obvious threats. Never see me coming.
Let's head for the environmental plant.
This is probably the safest place in the district right now. We intend to keep it that way.